Okay, hello, and welcome to page 65 of my graphic novel of comic strips titled Found Earth. This is the last page of Volume 1. It took a long time to get here, like a year and a half, I think. Wow. Okay, we're done with that. And now I'm like 41 pages into Volume 2. So that's cool. And to go with the good news of reaching the 65th video, which I hope have gotten better over the course of time, I have some good news, interesting news. I think it might be even great news. A publisher is showing interest in putting out this story. They've been looking at my stuff, and they seem to be very interested. It's a small publishing company, small press publishing company. They're called Ashcan Comics Publishing. And so they do small print runs, and they take a cut for their profits and just keep themselves afloat and to pay for everything. And then I retain all the rights to Found Earth, and there's sort of profit sharing that goes with it, based on how many subscribers they have to their Patreon page, I guess. And it goes from there. So that's exciting, and I think that I'm going to go through with it and see what happens, since I retain the ownership of the property, and they do publishing for like a month or so. I think it might be a good fit, a good first foray into publishing for these books. Might be a good first stop for these things. I'm also putting each page up on Webtoons so that I can hopefully get a little more exposure for this. They apparently have a large audience on Webtoons, so if I can find a way to maintain some consistency with my posting and rescanning of all the pages, because 75 DPI is better for that. I was originally scanning for 300 DPI, which is great for larger things and higher quality stuff, but for computer screens, 75 DPI seems to work pretty good. No, I'm really excited about that. Ashcan Comics. You can look them up. They're on Patreon, they're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I imagine, and you can subscribe. And what they do is when you do the subscription, I guess you get everything that they publish for that month, depending on your subscription rate, whether you do a certain amount or another different amount. You get digital copies or physical copies. And I think they have other incentives to go with it too. So look into that soon. Start following them on social media, and you may see me here pretty soon. If not, I'll keep chugging away at this and I'll do my own thing. But it's a neat opportunity. I'm kind of excited about it. It doesn't seem like too terrible a risk to get this out there and to actually hold a physical copy of this in my hand. Yeah. So we're on page 65 of this. It hasn't quite taken me 65 weeks to get this far. There were a few weeks there at the beginning where I was trying to chug away and get a large chunk of this done and get my momentum going. during the weeks, and that turned out to eat up too much time and was too much of a hardship as far as getting sleep and taking care of the things around the house that I needed to take care of. So I went with, doing this on the weekend. If you'll notice, the video starts with the pencil layouts already done. I have no earthly idea what happened to the layout video for this, the quick sketch for this page. I don't know what happened to it. I think it disappeared. Or it may have been one of those pages where I looked over it and realized that I had not hit the record button. So there it is. This page has the angel and the snake, shaking fists at each other, and the pterodactyls are concluding their bedding arrangement. There's the voice of God, letting the robots know where their other friends are, which is always helpful when a strange voice from the sky tells you exactly what you need to know. One of the robots successfully ended the Snails Lives Matter movement by ending the snails' lives. But he doesn't know that. That whole occurrence happened without him even realizing it. And sometimes that's the way it is. The things that are so important to you, other people don't even know they exist. It's okay. They're important to you. I got to draw, robots being squishy and disgusted at, being covered in slimy goo, because they don't realize that it's the snails. Yeah, I wasn't sure how to do, the voice of God, so I just had a voice coming from the sky off panel and just coming down, and a cloud that looks like a hand with the finger pointing. And that seemed to work just fine. Tried not to make things too terribly overcomplicated. And I think that's where your lesson's going to come in. If something simple will work, do that. If you don't need to make things overly complicated, just do it. And here it is, page 65. And I've run out of things to say, I think. I want to thank my two patrons, Scott and Joe. You followed me through the first volume. And we're going to continue on into volume 2. And hopefully in about 25 weeks we'll have another thing to submit to Ashcan Comics. And maybe that'll come out, and we'll be that much closer. Yeah, we're just plugging away at this thing. Since I'm on page 41, the next one's 65. So by the time I get to that, I'll be well into the third one. And that's where it ends, the end of the third one. And we'll move on to some other stories. I have a story I'm writing with my daughter that we'll need to flesh out and clean up and get some character designs going. And I have another story where Santa and the toy companies of the world go to war. And it's kid stuff. It's fine. There may be young teenager stuff. I don't know. PG-13, maybe. We'll see what happens when we get there. One page was particularly gory. But, yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for going on this journey with me. And I will continue to make more. And we'll see this done within 2 years, I imagine. And then it'll be finished. And we'll move on to something else. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it. And we'll talk to you next week.